chat. Well, not chat. I guess YouTube. What's up? This is not going on Twitter. This is only going on YouTube because I post way too many matchup charts on Twitter. And I get ratioed every single time. We're going to be just going over basics. This isn't going to be going over anything in huge detail. There you are. Ganon is 6'4". Due to the patch, jab converts way easier into forward throw, which means that if I get a jab at all, and it's only like -10, so you can't even punish it that well if you're Ganon, you just get like, you literally die at 20, no matter where you are, usually. Backers being safer means that Ganon can't up smash out of shield, so to me, that's just a 6'4" matchup. Because a lot of Ganon's counterplay kind of got removed, / it doesn't work as well. So yeah, also Nair trading with Ganon's up air is horrible, and Ganon being so heavy and tall means that I can just SDI that character forever, since he's still kind of big. So he can't SDI out of dare loops. So yeah. Now we have Little Mac. It's the same sort of dilemma. I found out that jab into grab, or a lot of setups that normally wouldn't work on Little Mac due to his combo breakers, just work so much better, which means that I can always get a reliable true combo on Little Mac, and then I get him off stage, and then Nair beats Little Mac's side B, and you can, you know, platform camp, just the basics. It's weirdly easy to combo Little Mac. Even though he has all those combo breakers, they're not good enough to work against Puff. Is the best thing I can say. Backer being safer is nice, so yeah. Good matchup. You can just get anything. Nair beats Little Mac's up B, which kind of sucks. Yeah, not much to say. So we also have Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario's up B out of shield is pretty nice, but it's just not good enough for it to be only a slight Puff favored matchup. Forward throw will basically auto-kill Doc due to Nair beating his down B, Nair beating his up B. All of Puff's moves will just beat Doc's off stage or trade, which is very, very important with the character like Doc, where you are always trading and he's always going off stage with it. Doc is a bad recovery, and that's about it. Back here is a little bit safer due to the patch, so that's nice. Jab converts into grab. As I said, with all the 6'4" matchups, these characters are all very linear because, you know, they're like low tier / bottom tier. So there's just a general game plan that you can do, and you don't really need to not follow it. The thing that's scary about Doc is just his up smash out of shield is really scary, because Doc can just hold shield, and if he's in center stage, you can just spam up smash, or just spam a random move, and Puff isn't going to really be able to reliably deal with it. But then again, if you even like mess up slightly, or you even lose neutral once, there's a high chance that Puff is killing you at like tons of percents. So yeah, apologies that these ones don't have that crazy of an explanation. It's just so linear. The game plan's so linear that there's not much to talk about. All right, those are the only 3 6'4s. I don't think Puff's good enough to have any more. Fox. So I think Fox, due to the patch, went to slight Fox just because of like jab combos, backer being way safer, so I can actually have a move that I can deal with against Fox, which is great. Because beforehand, if Fox held shield and I didn't, and Puff did an aerial, I was just dead. Nothing much you can do. But with this, there's much more mix-ups, and there's much more like variables. Jab combos into literally everything against Fox, which is amazing. Jab back air is really, really good on 2 characters. Fox and Me Brawler. Those 2 characters, it's very easy to hit a J on. So it's very nice. And I also love that. The other thing is that all of like Puff's combos work literally perfectly on Fox. Even with perfect SDI, there's nothing Fox can do about anything like at all. The exception is drill rest, but you don't really use drill rest at like top level anyway, so it doesn't matter. The other thing is that down smash is amazing against Fox. You can like get a kill at 90, or you can get a kill at 40% due to the angle it sends, and that's very, very nice. So yeah, literally any single combo will just work on Fox, even with perfect SDI. The other thing, like I said, the other thing I didn't say is that Fox is light, so strong backer will kill at very stupid percents. And that if I even catch Fox's side B, I get a fair nair at 60, or I get a fair nair at 70, and Fox is also just dead. Very sad. Corrin. My experience is that I played Shattuck for like I think an hour or two, Shattuck's the best Corrin in the world, to me, for people who don't know. We played a lot. We found out that back air is broken against Puff, but Puff has leeway around it. If Puff just parries it, I can get in and just get a super nice combo, get a forward throw, and kill Corrin at 20%. This matchup is based on if Corrin doesn't get grabbed, which is possible, but it is very hard if the Puff knows what they're doing. Is how I can say it. When I played Shattuck at the Low Tide City, I 3-0'd him. It was, he was definitely playing nervous, but that is definitely my experience. It's just playing Shattuck in friendlies and in bracket. Isabelle, nothing much to say. She's too light. She's way too light, and her, like, zoning tools don't really work against Puff. Isabelle has to just have so much, like, Isabelle can't miss at all, or else she'll take, like, 40 to 50, and then she'll be off stage, and then I can just pop the balloons, because popping the balloons is really easy if you're Jigglypuff. You can just jump Nair, and the balloons will pop, or you just edgeguard Isabelle, because that is very, very easy. Fishing Rod as a tether does not work against Puff, because I can just go out and just hit it before the fishing rod even, like, connects. So, yeah. My experience against Isabelle was B-Rice. He's a very good Isabelle player. Ice Climbers. The reason why I think Puff beats Ice Climbers is due to the AI mechanic. A lot of people don't know this, but Puff's forward throw will automatically make Nana go up or jump, which means I will always have a free kill on Nana if I get any forward throw at all. Let's say Nana's at 30%, I get a forward throw, I can automatically kill Nana, or at least, like, get really, really good damage. You can argue the Ice Climbers Infinite's crazy, but I can just SDI it, because you can SDI that, and then I will just escape it. Because Ice Climbers won't be able to hit that consistently. Because it's just too hard, / you're never going to be in that position. Back air is really safe against Ice Climbers. Grabbing is weirdly good against Ice Climbers, which you wouldn't expect. Gimping Ice Climbers is really easy because Nair beats Ice Climbers side B, and Nair also beats Ice Climbers up B on another level. And it is very sad how easy it is to gimp Ice Climbers. You can also just get hit by the Ice Climbers, and sometimes that up B will just not hit. Also, Nair beats anything that Ice Climbers does to recover. It is very sad. On the ledge, though, Icy's destroy Puff because of back air and literally just anything Icy's does. If Puff is on the ledge at all, this matchup goes to here or here. But you don't really need to be on the ledge in this matchup, or you don't even ever need to be in that position that's in the winnings. Oh, Pichu. Platform camp. And SDI up on lightning loops. This is also one of the only matchups that Drill Rest is really, really good in, because it'll always work against Pichu. And it's very nice. Also, due to the patch, Puff can spam back air, and I don't think Pichu has any option about it. At all. Also, Pichu's really, really light, and Quick Attack not having a hurt box means I can go out there and just Nair and kill Pichu. Even though his recovery's good, Puff's a character that can deal with Quick Attack weirdly well. By just having a lingering hitbox out, it forces Pichu to be in a certain area, and then I can follow that certain area and still get the kill. Yeah. What's another matchup I can do for winning? Bowser Jr. We'll do this. The reason why I think this matchup is winning is because due to dare loops, and Bowser, like the Bowser Jr. character gets hit more if you hit his face, and not the cart. You know what you need to do for dare loops? Hit the center of it, which is his face. So he's taking much more damage than almost any character in this game does for dare loops, etc., etc. It's very sad. Also, Junior can't really up smash out of shield anything Puff does. I played Yoda Cage in this matchup, and he literally just couldn't do it. It was really stupid, and I didn't understand it. The other thing is that all of Puff's soft hit moves will usually take out Clown Cart, which is very sad. So if I hit a down air that doesn't have like the ending hit, Bowser Jr. will usually just die. If I hit a soft air, Bowser Jr.'s dead. If I hit a nair, I can either go out there and kill him, or he just doesn't get his cart back, which is very sad. The other thing is that none of Bowser Jr.'s kill options will ever kill Puff. They'll do a lot of damage, but they're never really going to kill Puff. Jab is also really good as Bowser Jr. in this matchup, just because you can parry an aerial, and if I don't space it, I die. It's sad. All of Puff's aerials beat anything Min Min does other than Megawatt, which is important. Ram Ram is a good option, but like you can still beat it out. From what I know. I've done it against people, so I know it works. If you want to watch how I play the matchup, watch me versus Justice at Smash World Tour. I won in 7 minutes in a best of 5, and that was really nice. It's just very simple to just edge guard the character. Nair forward throw works way too well, and due to the buffs, jab grab, jab setups work really well. Back air is even safer, so Min Min can't punish it well. Of course, other than her crazy aerial, her crazy like aerials are just like, you know, just moves. But even then, those aren't good enough to really affect Puff, in my opinion. I'll do all the heavies. I'll just do the basic heavies. Dedede, Rool, Ridley. The big heavy characters. And Donkey Kong. And then Bowser's even. So the reason why all of these heavies are in slight Puff other than Bowser is that none of these characters have real counterplay. In terms of getting edge guarded. Dedede can always get edge guarded. It's pretty sad. Him holding down is huge. But you can still like... You can still down smash it, which is nice. Or you can just still pound it, say if you read them not holding down. Or you can go out and down air. Or back air. It's like weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just I don't know how it works too well, but I just know that I go out there, I hit a down air, they take 80%. And that's how it goes for Rool too. I get a down air, I do 80%, they're off stage. When Rool is recovering, like with his up B, you can go out there, do the reverse nair hitbox, and buffer a back air, and then Rool's dead. Also, Crown Armor isn't that great because you can rest it, or you can just get a grab, and then use grab armor. But to be fair, every character can do that. But that's why Rool sucks to me. Just because like his basic tools just don't work that well, once you know the matchup. Ridley, same dilemma, dare loops. If Puff forward throws, Ridley has a 50-50 guess on living every single time. No matter the percent, because Ridley can either up B, go away, drift, like, Ridley can drift, then use, like, the up B to make sure that, like, I don't really get a hit in, or Ridley can just, like, jump and get to me. But since Ridley doesn't have, like, a super great recovery, I can position Ridley to where that character will always die off any string. The thing that makes this matchup not 6-4 or potentially even or losing is that Ridley's Nair will basically beat anything Puff does. And if I cross up Ridley wrong, I can get up smashed. And if I pound and I mess up, I get forward smash at 50. But those situations never happen because you can just be good and not actually use those moves in neutral, since you should not be using pound in neutral at the percents that you will die in. So yeah. Also, back air being way better means that Ridley can't do as many out of shield options. So yeah. Incineroar. Nair beats Incineroar's up B. Puff can platform camp. Incin's side B isn't that great against Puff. Although, due to how small her jump is, Incin can sometimes get something, but it's just not enough. Incin can combo break out of any of Puff's combos at the start with neutral B, so that's cool. And Revenge, I mean, I don't even need to say anything about Revenge. You guys have seen SkyJ's clips about Revenge. That move is insane, but it's not good enough for it to be an even matchup. Nair beating up B and Puff being able to just edge guard super well due to forward throw will just make this matchup Puff favored. Plant. I know a lot of Plant mains think that Plant destroys Puff, but I just can't see it. I haven't played a Plant in a while, which I'll admit. I played Lucky, who I lost to. He's a really good Plant player from Minnesota. But I can safely say Puff is more optimized than Plant in terms of combos. In that the Spike Ball, or I think it's Fatui. I don't know if it's Fatui or not. Just the Piranha Plant Spike Ball move isn't really great against Puff anymore due to just the counterplay against it. If Piranha Plant's at a higher percent, Puff can just go and rest it due to the amount of end lag there is. If Piranha Plant down B's off stage, you can just wait under it, and then you just hit it. So yeah. Piranha Plant's up smash out of shield also isn't that great at this matchup. Actually, I kind of lied. The only Piranha Plant I've ever played was Send, because he went Plant versus me, because I think he just wanted to try Plant, because why not? So yeah. Also, edgeguarding Plant's really easy, because Puff can always get a soft forward air nair on Plant recovering, which is important in the matchup. Also, Jab, now being, like, kind of safe, can make Plant way more annoyed. Over Lucario. It kind of just goes off itself. Puff is a character that gets kills early, and can actually one of the few characters that can edgeguard Lucario. So what I'll just say for this is that Nair can beat Aura Sphere. Small ones, not big ones, but still important to know. It's hard for Lucario to really punish Puff aerials, in my opinion, just from my experience. I will say though, ban Cows against Lucario, that is an unhealthy stage for Lucario. That stage is insane for Lucario. I guess the other thing I can say about Lucario is that his up air is crazy against Puff. Because, like, if Puff gets up aired at 80, you're just dead. Or 70, if Lucario has Aura, you're just dead. So, yeah. It's just, I feel like the design of Puff just kind of just beats Lucario. Banjo. So, I know for people that watch HBox, he thinks this matchup is unwinnable or very, very hard. I can safely say it isn't. I can just safely say it isn't. The big thing Puff has in this matchup is that Banjo is forced to just play a very, like, linear game plan, which would just be something you wouldn't expect with just a character that has, like, you know, Grenade, Wonderwing, like, grab, like, solid grab setups or just Nair. But against, Puff, against Puff, Banjo can't really do a lot of those setups. Especially offline, because this is an offline chart. Edgeguarding Banjo is very easy just because you have to wait for the up B to come out. And a lot of Banjos will usually jump after Grenade. So you can usually catch that just because Banjo can't really do much if he doesn't jump. It's a little sad. Also, Puff can pick up the Grenade or use the Grenade against Banjo. Let's say I'm holding shield against Banjo. I can reaction, IDJ rest a lot of situations if I have Grenade in hand. And it's really funny. Also, Wonderwing being like minus 50 something is pretty bad just because if I catch it, I can hold shield, run up to Banjo, and just rest. And it's really sad. I just feel like Puff's advantage state is too good for Puff not to win the matchup. Oh yeah, Pit. I used to think this matchup was even, or a slight Pit. But then I learned that I just can hold forward against Pit off stage. Which is weird just because I don't expect it because I feel like Pit can stall really well. But no. You can hold forward against Pit and honestly win. Pit's safe moves don't really like matter against a character like Puff just because of how fast she is in the air. So Pit can never really contest anything Puff does. At least from what I know. I know that if out of shield, if I do a Nair, Pit can just up smash Puff. But like, I don't really know why I'm crossing up Pit ever. When I can just dash around and just get a whiff punish or just find an opening. Which is pretty easy against Pit, just because of how all of his moves are a hard commit. And his 50-50 neutral is, you know, Nair and grab, or just setups like that, where Pit is just trying to read you and get a 20-30% hit. I don't know, I just feel like Pit doesn't get the same setups as he would against, like, other characters, would be my opinion. Down throw up air is great on Puff, though, because you can get a down throw up air at, like, 95 and kill Pit. Or kill Puff. Also, I know Puff can beat out Pit's side B, with like a super strong move or just in general, or just holding shield on the ledge and getting a hit. Also, if Pit tries to go for a side B punish or tries to go for a side B to get a kill, I can just rest it, and that is really funny. Also, Pit's F smash is really hard to hit against Puff. Like, it takes, like, once the Puff learns about that move, it becomes a lot easier for Puff to just not get killed. Because I don't know how Pit's getting a down or up smash on Puff. I just don't know how that works. Richter. It's similar to Min Min, I'll put them together. It's the same sort of dilemma, which is I get a forward throw at low percents, and I kill Richter. No matter what, Richter does not have enough counterplay to where you don't just kill Richter off a hit. I played T3 Dom a ton, and I just understand Richter pretty well. There's a Richter in my region. I haven't played him in a while, but I really want to play him like, eventually. Maybe he farms me, though. His name's Acetil. He's a very good Richter player. Richter's out of shield game against Puff isn't that great just because he gets an up B, but his up B will never kill Puff if you have great DI. Which you usually will because of how slow that move comes out, so you can know when the up B happens. Since his recovery is a tether, you can just soft forward air and nair the tether game. If Puff gets a nair forward throw or a down air forward air forward throw, or with the patch, a jab grab, which would be a jab forward throw, Richter will kind of just die off stage. Even if Richter wins 5 more of the neutral interactions, it's not enough to win. Richter, I think, needs to win 6 to 7 times more neutral interactions than Puff does to win this matchup, which is very sad. Meta Knight. I talked with Bonk about this, and we just disagree. And Bonk could just destroy me. If you guys don't know, Bonk's a really good Meta Knight. I think he's the best Meta Knight in the world. He thinks Meta Knight destroys Puff. So yeah. I just don't think the match is bad, because even with the loops, I think Puff can just wins a neutral outright. Meta Knight's tilt game and out of shield game is really good, but I don't feel like it's enough to beat out Puff's aerial movement and just willingness to like play the game. Also, Puff on the ledge is weirdly good against Meta Knight. It's something you wouldn't expect. I just think it's good. Also, Puff is one of the only characters in the game that can edgeguard Meta Knight due to how Puff's edgeguarding works. So on a Meta Knight, I can get a back air, forward air, nair, or like dare, back air, nair, or setups like that, and it'll just auto kill Meta Knight or just do a lot of damage, which is nice. Also, for people who don't know, on Meta Knight's up air, you can SDI it and make it much harder for Meta Knight. Unfortunately, Puff is a character that will still get punished by it, but it's just at least you're doing something to attempt to get out of it. Watch out for dash attack and watch out for down throw. Meta Knight's game plan's linear to where you usually know exactly what he's going to do on the ground, but it's kind of just a 50-50 still. So you're either going to yeah. What I usually like doing at like low percents is to just jump, so I don't have to deal with the grab attack situation. So that way it's just platform can't. It's more. I'm basically just saying platform can't Meta Knight. Oh, also back air is great against Meta Knight now due to the patch. Since back air is -3, Meta Knight can't just like do out of shield things against that move, which is great. Kirby. What can I really say? This is a Puffball matchup. Puff kind of wins in the air, of course, you know, due to the game plan. But Puff actually does evenish on the ground due to like how like kind of safer tilts are. So that way Kirby doesn't just win on the ground, and you can actually play neutral against this character. And due to how Kirby's jumps work and air acceleration, it's very easy to edge guard Kirby. Very, very easy. My experience against Kirby is J-Jaw. We played this matchup a lot, and I found a lot of ways to edge guard or just combo Kirby. Since Kirby can't escape anything Puff does, even with perfect SDI, Kirby will usually get hit by everything. Also, if you you can SDI Kirby's down air up, so that way it's a lot harder to get like down air spiked, etc., etc. And sometimes you can actually nair Kirby's down air if you SDI up, so that's pretty cool. Hero. So I thought Puff has beaten Hero for the longest time. And it's mainly because due to Puff's air acceleration, Hero can't just pull menu and camp at all. So it means that Hero needs to play a lot more like neutral, and he can't really fish from menu as well. I've beaten every single hero I've ever played. No hero's ever given me any issue. So this could just be bias. I could easily see this matchup go to losing, or like evenish, but it's just I don't lose to Hero ever. In the flowchart against Hero is very easy in terms of how to edgeguard him. The other thing is that you can know where zoom is by looking at the camera and just use it like that. I'm still pretty bad at doing that though. The other thing is that accelerate is actually like, if Puff gets a hit on accelerate Hero just gets hit, like killed way easier if he's an accelerate. I don't know why, that's just how it is. So you can get a lot more like combo or potentially just kill setups if he's an accelerate. Also, downer into forward throw setups or just setups into forward throw are really good on Hero, which is kind of just a lot of the winning matchups in general. Mewtwo. I think Puff beats Mewtwo just because of how gigantic Mewtwo is, which means I can always get a free down air loop, and I can always just get great punishes. With the patch, I can do setups like back air into pound into rest, where I can just do way more setups due to how light Mewtwo is and how tall he is. That's honestly the only reason. Puff, it's just, Mewtwo just, I don't know what. He has so many great combos on Puff, but none of that matters if I can just hit Mewtwo once, and all that work Mewtwo did on me doesn't matter anymore. Shadow Ball's pretty good though against Puff, of course, just because Puff doesn't really have a projectile. The other thing is that Puff can 2-frame Mewtwo's up B with Pound, or just down smash, which is great. Also, Mewtwo kind of has to, like, put an aerial out to get back to stage at times. So if you just read that once, at 30%, Mewtwo might actually just die to an edge guard. Like, fair, nair. Or just, like, fair, nair. Which is great. Also, the back air buff makes that Mewtwo can't whiff punish as well, so that's also cool. My experience is I played Wadi at the Summit bracket. You might be thinking it's a sword character like Corrin, so Puff doesn't win. But it doesn't really matter if Byleth is so slow that you can't really catch Puff at all. Out of shield game's great, just because Byleth can up smash out of shield, and backer's great against Puff, but I just don't think it's enough, just because of how explosive Puff's advantage state is. Also, like, her recovery isn't good enough against Puff. Like, you can like play and like you can usually like recover against most Puffs, but just a good one will just destroy you still. Because I can just put a lingering Nair out, and at 35%, I can do Nair, forward air, Nair, and Byleth will usually just die. It is a little bit scary just because since Puff is usually like above Byleth when recovering, you can get up B spiked, but it's just not enough. Puff's air acceleration and like movement will make it so that Byleth can't really catch Puff. And let's say Byleth does catch Puff. It's not enough percent to where I feel like Puff doesn't win. Bayo? Oh yeah, Bayo. The best thing I can say about Bayo is none of her kill setups that work on anyone, that work on everyone, just don't work against Puff. They literally won't kill Puff. I don't know how to explain this, but nothing Bayo does can ever kill Puff. Ask any Bayo that's played me and they can vouch. For some reason, Puff is a character that just won't die to Bayo's things. Forward throw won't work, back air it won't kill. All of Bayo's setups will not kill Puff. Like, at all. I'm just convinced they don't work on Puff anymore. If Puff SDIs properly, she doesn't get Bayo comboed. She can SDI up on Witch Twist, and she can usually escape anything. And then on ABK, you can just SDI down and away to make sure you don't die to any setup as well. Puff's goal in this matchup is to play very, very grounded, and to not ever jump, which she's able to in this matchup, actually. She's able to just use short hop, down air, grab, pound mix-ups. Puff's able to use a lot of her mix-up game against Bayo. And Bayo's punish game is just not good enough, which is weird to say because that character can just do 80% sometimes. The other thing is that ABK has just a lot of lag on it. That Puff is one of the only characters in the game that can punish, well, reliably. If I can just catch an ABK, I can react and get a back air, react and get a nair. The other thing is that that edge guarding Bayo's of course it's not hard because it's Bayonetta. Of course it's not easy because it's Bayonetta. But it's like good, but you can do it. Just because you can catch Witch Twist in the double jump, or you can just catch a lot of options. And if you stay grounded, Bayo has to play a lot more. Bayo can use a lot of her strengths. So yeah. Also, Witch Time isn't that great in this matchup. Because if Bayo messes up once, I get a free rest or a free combo. Okay, I'm going to say my hot take. I think this is because I play against a Lucas player a lot, so I might be saying it because I play him. But this matchup feels like it's slight Puff now. Just because of the buffs. Since the backer buff makes so that Lucas can't whiff punish with up tilt or like moves, which is great. Lucas can't Puff, sure, but it's not enough. If Lucas does a Zair, I can soft forward air and just like kill Lucas for doing a Zair. Or like his tether grab or whatever that's called. But yeah, I just don't... forward tilt and the down tilt setups don't really kill Puff. Or they don't really, like, affect Puff that much. And also, since Puff's so light, sometimes down tilt grab or just setups won't work on her for no reason. How Lucas wants to recover is that Lucas doesn't want to go down. Lucas wants to mix up where he goes on the recovery. Like, for example, let's say he just gets hits. He could immediately buffer an upbeat and just live against Puff. Alright, we'll go over Bowser. The reason why Bowser is not in Slight is because of how strong Bowser is. And Tough Guy is kind of good at low percent, but it's not like Fox levels of good where like Bowser can just break through anything Fox does. Puff's Sing can actually beat Bowser's up B. Like, you can Sing out of shield Bowser's up B, and it's great. Or you could even just down air the up B, which is also nice. The reason why it's a super honest even is because Puff can just get an edge guard and kill Bowser really, really early. And also, if I get a Sing, I can kill Bowser really, really early. Like at 60% on Bowser, that's huge. Or kill at 50%, that's huge on Bowser. Also, down smash and pound are really good at 2-framing Bowser's recovery, so that's also cool. And yeah. That's really it about Bowser. He's kind of linear on how to talk about him. His backer's really good against Puff on ledge. And Flame Breath's is really good in this matchup, actually. Although it's good in a lot of matchups, if Puff doesn't have many jumps, she's forced to just deal with that Flame Breath and just take 20 to 30%. Up tilt's really good as Bowser, just because Bowser's up tilt can just kill Puff at 95. But Puff can work around that well enough. And if Bowser whiffs wrong, then I get a down air and I give Bowser 70%. So that is cool. All 4 fighting game characters are even. And it's not because I think they're the same character. I think they're even for different reasons. Of course, all 4 of these have a really bad recovery, so you can just edgeguard them. But Ryu is like way too consistent. There's not enough cheese factor as Ryu. And his recovery is not good at all. His recovery is horrible against Puff. Because I can just get a jump read, and then Ryu's dead. Or he goes downwards, and I react, and then I nair his recovery. Also with this, if you want to argue that Puff kills early, or Puff dies early, I can show you my SDI, in that I don't die at all to anything. Puff can SDI and escape out of any of these characters' combos, with the exception of Kazuya, because Kazuya is an experience. But yeah, you can SDI out of a lot of these setups and make them practically not usable against Puff. So yeah, Ryu's just too consistent and his recovery isn't great. And that's why I think it's even. Terry, I used to think Terry was Puff's hardest matchup, or I thought that Ken and Terry both lost, or both beat Puff, but now that I've learned a lot more of the counterplay and a lot more of how to edgeguard them, it's a lot more even. And their meta is growing much faster than both of these characters too. So that's also nice. Versus Ken, I stay grounded the entire game. If Ken full hops nairs, you can grab or you can out of shield rest it. Or, yeah, you literally just do that. You sometimes have to do that for the entire game based on how the Ken is playing. If the Ken wants to full hop nair the entire game, he can just do that. There's nothing Puff can do about it. Unless I completely catch and read the jump, which I can do, but that isn't a foolproof situation. That isn't a foolproof plan. Ken kind of gets messed up by dare loops and recovery, just because if I forward throw him, it's a 50-50 chance on if he dies or not, and that's always great for Puff. Nair beats his up B even better than Ryu's, so that's also great. And his Nair and Puff's Nair will destroy Ken's side B, so Puff can just go out there and give Ken. My experience against Ken is Jazzo, Riddles, and Caesar Salad from my sub-region, who's a pretty underrated Ken in my opinion. He's very good. But yeah, I played Jazzo and Riddles, who are both Kens I hope you guys know about. I played Riddles as Ken, and I played as Kazuya, which is kind of my experience too. Versus Terry, I played against Riddles as Terry. I played against all of Riddles' characters, all of the fighting game characters actually. Against Terry, you want to just entirely invalidate his side B. If you ever get Terry off stage with a nair forward throw, which hitting a nair on Terry is pretty easy, just because of how he has to kind of play, how he has to hit a jab, he has to have a move out, he has to commit. It's very easy for Puff to just get a nair on Terry, which is cool. So if you get a Terry off stage at all and they're revert and they have to use their crack shoot move, there's so much end lag on it that Puff will always kill Terry if he uses that move, which is nice. Also, Puff's down smash can beat out Terry's up B pretty well if the Terry messes up / he literally just can't do that situation. So yeah. On power dunk, you SDI it like you do. I think it's up and in. That's how I do it and I get out. But maybe it's something else. I don't know. I'm very stupid with that stuff. Yeah, also jab up B being a reliable confirm on Puff is really annoying. But I mean, that's just how it is. You're gonna have a lot of characters just have kill setups on Puff. Nothing you can do about it. Oh, against Go, hold shield a lot. I hold shield a lot against Go, to be honest. You can get shield broken, but it's honestly just like good to just shield and just use a lot of your defensive options. Also, Nair beating the Power Geyser move, like the one, you guys know which one I'm talking about. I'm not meaning the one where like, I don't know what it's called, the Power Geyser or whatever that's called. You can Nair that and just entirely clink out that move, which is nice. So yeah, that's why I think that's even. Ken, he's 2. His moves will sometimes just not hit Puff if you crouch. And if Ken up tilts, I can SDI to where I don't get hit by the up B, and Ken has to make a read on my SDI. Or I just don't get hit at all since I'm small. I think Kazuya is here because Kazuya's way too slow. I can hit anything he does, and he doesn't escape any of my Darude combos. If you want to know how to play this matchup, you can watch me versus Riddles. There's this Hungrybox YouTube video. It's a Hungrybox Salty Sweet, and me and Riddles played. It was a nice Game 5 set. Nair beating up B is very, very nice. No, Nair trading with up B. My bad. Nair trading with up B is really, really nice. Also, Kazuya doesn't really like hit Puff with like that down B move in Rage Art, so that's also very cool. Back air now being a lot safer means that Kazuya can't up B out of shield anymore. So let's say I get a back air, Kazuya can't just up B me, so that's also nice. Alright, Inkling. This character is much worse now, and it shows. It shows in the results, and it shows in people dropping the character. Now, I know even when Inkling was super good, Puff had a secret good matchup against Inkling, where it was still slight Inkling, but it was doable. Up throw, up air having a 30% window on Puff is the only reason why this matchup's even. Inkling can just get an up throw at 85 or 90 and automatically kill Puff. But everything else about the matchup is Puff favored. Neutral is starting to get in Puff's favor due to her back air, her down air loops, and just her being able to keep stage control, which is great. Inkling is forced to run away and retreat, just due to Puff's how Puff scares people. Also, Puff can edgeguard Inkling with just naring under the ledge, and just you keep doing that, and it's very nice. And if Inkling tries to go above, you can catch that with either an up air, or you can catch that by even naring. Inkling's back air is actually not really safe. You can parry that and just get a hit, or you get a grab, or you can potentially get a down air depending if it's not spaced. So yeah. I just feel like Inkling's damage output isn't good enough to beat Puff. Link. I always thought this match was even. But the reason why I think it's even is because Link's combo food on another level, and Puff's advantage state is better than Link's. If Puff gets any forward throw, Link has to either just use a bomb, let's say he's at 50 to 60, which Puff can actually go catch up to Link and hit Link with a forward air nair and kill, just because Link pulled a bomb. Link can also just fast fall nair and then go for an up B, which Puff can also catch by just waiting, and then you nair. And at 20%, Link dies off of Puff nairing once, which is awesome. Also, Puff can use Link's bomb against him by, at high percents, let's say Link is at 100%, Puff can do bomb into nair and kill Link off it. What Link has, of course, is that if Puff hits Link's shield, Link can just up B out of shield and kill Puff really early. And up smash out of shield is really annoying. But yeah, I guess Link has up air, and up air is pretty good. Toon Link, it's the same dilemma, except due to Toon Link having a super floaty jump, it's very hard to catch Toon Link. If you want to know how to play the matchup, watch me versus JoJo at Smash World Tour. That's all I'll say because I just want to speedrun this. Also, since Toon Link's bombs don't really you can shield Toon Link's bombs really well and just catch them. If Toon Link wants to just camp and zone out. If Toon Link down airs, Puff doesn't really get hit by it, and Puff can even sing that down air. Toon Link's down air on the ledge where it can spike. Robin, I think it's even. just because the edge guarding game and Nair beating Arcfire and Nair beating a lot of Robin's projectiles. Very nice. Also, it's really hard for Robin to get at sort of 11 or like her 11 sword hit, like the one where she has the aerial smash attacks. It's very annoying for her to actually hit Puff in those situations. Even if Robin's fully camping and like committing to that timeout game, it's still very hard for Robin to actually get an actual hit in the matchup. She also can't use the down B at all, just because I'm usually in the air, and Robin has to somehow get me to shield and condition me to shield, and that's not really gonna happen. Robin doesn't like a up B and I catch it. Puff can do a forward air, a soft forward air nair and kill at 70, just like in a lot of matchups. You're starting to see where I'm going from this when you're seeing me talk about this. I guess a good matchup that I played was me versus Grandmaster, even though that was Wi-Fi. That's probably the closest thing I could show about me playing the matchup. He's gonna talk about on the ledge. Watch out for Robin's Arcfire. Watch out for Robin's back air. That move is not healthy and is a crazy move. Also, if you get Arcfired, don't shield because Robin can just get a down smash and then you have a guaranteed shield break. And then Puff dies because her shield breaks when she literally just dies when her shield breaks. Sad world. Wii Fit. Watch me versus Varun. Even though Varun played really bad, you can tell a lot of situations that Puff can just hit Wii Fit. Now I know that sounds weird, but a lot of the characters in this game just have a tough time hitting Wii Fit because she's always on the ledge. Luckily, Puff is a ledge trap character and she has a move called Nair that can just entirely beat out Wii Fit's game plan. It's very nice. Also, if Wii Fit uses header, you can catch that by going slightly below her and then nairing it or forward airing it. Pretty cool. Also, if Wii Fit uses like the deep breathing, you can stall with it pretty well if you know how to stall. Let's say you get hit by Wii Fit when she's in deep breathing, then you just pound stall, and then she loses deep breathing. R.O.B. So, this is kind of controversial just because I know that R.O.B is broken. But I played a good amount of R.O.B players. And I've just realized that R.O.B literally cannot... Like, R.O.B's aerials lose to Puff's. If Puff nairs, that will beat out R.O.B's moves. Like, Puff's aerials beat out R.O.B's moves, which is huge. So it forces R.O.B to not be able to actually spam Nair a lot of the time. Also, dare looping R.O.B is really, really nice because you can always get a combo. You can always like get R.O.B with like 60 or 70%, which is cool. And getting the R.O.B 0 to death is pretty hard on Puff just because of how small she is. So yeah. If you want to watch a set with me and R.O.B, you can watch me versus Wadi. We played. And it was a nice set. The other thing is that since Gyro actually has a weird amount of end lag, so if Puff catches R.O.B using Gyro at all, then she can either get an edge guarding kill or get a ton of damage. That's just my take on R.O.B. This is definitely controversial though. Puff Falcon, I view this matchup as even. It's just volatile on both sides. Captain Falcon can kill Puff at 40. Puff can kill Falcon at 40. Very volatile. Falcon's up smash is really good in this matchup just because Puff doesn't have a reliable way of beating it. Just because of how much, like, not end lag there is. So, yeah. Also, Falcon's back air is good in this matchup. Because at worst, it'll trade. And say Falcon... Let's say Puff's on the ledge. And Falcon is ledge trapping. Falcon can just spam back air. And Puff has almost no option. It's sad. Also, Captain Falcon can just down air if Puff air dodges to the ledge. Consistently. So, yeah. Luigi... He gets edge guarded pretty bad. The Luigi 0 to death doesn't work on Puff if you know the SDI. If Luigi does a down B and Puff catches it, you can forward throw and kill Luigi off it. Pretty cool. I've only lost to Elegant, and that is it. That is the only Luigi I've ever lost to offline. And that was in money matches, but still. Luigi's up smash out of shield is very, very good against Puff just because of the aerials. Puff's aerials are still not that great, so Elegant... I just say Elegant because that's to me Luigi, but Luigi can just up smash out of shield, and it sucks. Yeah, that's all I can really say about Luigi. To edgeguard Luigi, you just punish the end lag of the green missile or Luigi's side B, or you can just nair and trade with Luigi's up B, and that also works. Samus. It's similar to R.O.B, where Puff's aerials beat out Samus's reliably. Samus's down B has enough end lag to where Puff can get a huge punish if she's off stage, and yeah, Puff's nair beats missiles and it beats small charge shots, but it doesn't beat Samus's big charge shot, which kind of sucks. Puff can beat out Samus's Zair or like Samus's tether grab by just having a hitbox out, and Samus has to respect a lot of Puff's aerials and just wait and whiff punish, which is something that I don't know. Samus should not. I don't think Samus should be doing that against Jigglypuff, or Samus usually like I don't know how to explain it. Samus shouldn't have to respect Puff's hitboxes, but that's just how it works. Wolf, I played this matchup with Charlie the King for like 6 hours, and we both think it's even. I played Larry Lure. When he went Wolf, I just won. It was just like that. Puff's edgeguarding game on Wolf's just great, and dare loops are amazing on Wolf no matter what your STI is. And Puff can just beat out Wolf's side B and get a free kill. If you want to watch Game 5 last stock of me and Larry, you can see what I'm talking about. Falco. Against Falco, you can actually SDI his moves pretty well if you're Puff. You'll still get hit, but it's not going to be as bad, and you're not going to get killed, which is what's huge in this matchup. What you want to do as Puff is you want to read when Falco's going to do a double jump, and either just read it and then let's say Falco double jump up airs, you trade with it, and Falco doesn't have a jump. Or you just read the move and then you just keep hitting Falco. Wolf even, yeah. Falco's out of shield game against Puff just isn't that great. So you can kind of mash on Falco's shield. Unless like Falco just catches you with an up smash. So yeah. Falco's up tilt back air is good against Puff, but I don't think it's good enough. Just because of how good Puff's advantage state is. Down air loops are great against Falco. And there's not really any sort of outclass. Like, Falco doesn't outclass Puff, in my opinion.